Starting, all attendees are in listen-only mode.
Exactly. But I'm gonna be back in.
I just muted him. Councilman, make sure you mute your microphone, Councilman Desselman. I just muted you real quick because there was some background noise.
Hello?
Hi, Mayor. We are live on the channel and on live stream just in case. We're just waiting, I guess, for you to start the meeting.
Oh, you're waiting on me? Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is October 13, 2020. It's 2:03. This is a regular council meeting virtually again, and the meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Deslamay?
Here.
Councilwoman Keys? Here. Councilwoman Estime Irvin?
Present.
Councilman Galvin?
Here.
Mayor Bieterme?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance with Major Ransom Carter from the North Miami Police Department, follow with invocation with Rabbi Shmuel Join.
Good afternoon. Place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And now, Rabbi Shmuel.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Yes, you did. Good job. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, dear members. Thank you. And it's an honor to be here as you meet to better the lives of North Miami residents. The Jewish holiday of Sukkot has just ended, and which commemorates the Jewish people's freedom from slavery over 2,500 years ago. And it commemorates how God protected us from the wild desert as we traveled with his cloud. During the holiday, there's a custom to take a palm branch, a special citrus fruit, like a lemon, together with other branches, and wave them in different directions together. These items are bound together. Each item represents a different kind of human. Some are filled with action, some are more intellectual, or some are just simple folk. However, in God's eyes, we all have an important job in this world and are all important to him. Therefore, we place all these items together to acknowledge that, albeit we are different, yet we all have a unique place in God's eyes. I would like to offer a prayer that God should bless each one of you to find the wisdom and understanding to do the will of the people, to create a safe, secure, and nurturing environment for the citizens of North Miami. May the Almighty God bless the men and women of this board to work together in peace and in harmony, and to create a balance where every citizen feels important. And let us say amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Can you give us the address of the synagogue in case we want to visit you?
The synagogue is actually in North Miami Beach. It's called Bet Menachem. I don't have the physical address. I'm not there usually. I work I'm one of the more the traveling rabbis in the area. So I just base out of the temple there, but I go visiting different communities around the area.
I see. Thank you very much. And in your prayer, you said something, and you've been in slavery for 205 years. What period in the Bible are you talking about?
I'm sorry, say that again?
You said you've been in slavery for 2005 years, right?
Oh, no. We were slaves. Yes. We're not slaves today, thank God.
In what period are you referring to in the Bible?
This is in the, you're saying what time period is this?
Yes, in the Bible.
Oh, I mean, in the Jewish calendar, it's the year 2448, and we're now in the year 5781. So it's a little over 2,500 years ago.
Oh, okay. But you cannot situate the period like in the Bible?
Oh, this is the period. This is Moses. This is Moses in Egypt.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's the period you're referring to. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the time period. With the Pharaoh in Egypt. My pleasure. God bless all of you.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. And now, order of business. Madam City Manager, do we have any addition, deletions, amendment, or deferrals to the agenda?
I believe there may be a scrivener's error on tab H that the city attorney will read out.
Yeah, I was going to read it at the time of the resolution, but basically there's a scrivener's error where we said 75,000. We received this from the county with those numbers. The numbers were 100,000, 75,000, and 25,000. The actual numbers are 100 million. 75 million and 25 million, but we'll state it again on the record when the time comes.
But you're talking about tab H?
Yeah, tab H.
But it's still on the agenda, right?
It's still on the agenda. It makes no difference to what you're voting on. It's just, like I said, it's a scrivener's error.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Is there any change, Madam City Manager and City Attorney, besides that?
No, there are no other changes.
Thank you very much. At this time, is the agenda set?
Jeff?
Hello? City
I'm
Attorney?
sorry, I lost you for 2 seconds. What happened? I'm sorry.
Is the agenda set? So we can...
Yes, the agenda is set. You may proceed, Mayor.
Thank you very much. And now special presentations. Key to the city presentation to Luis De Rosa, President of the South Florida Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. This is the first video. This is the first presentation for today.
One second, Mayor. We're going to be playing the video shortly.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Councilwoman Mary Estimate Irvin, and I am proud to be here with my co-chair, Councilwoman Carol Keyes, on this beautiful National Hispanic Heritage Month. Each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th. During this time, we celebrate the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors come from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The observation started in 1963 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson. Then on September 14, 1989, President George H.W. Bush became the first president to declare the 31 period from September 15th to October 15th as the National Hispanic Heritage Month. In honor of 2020 Hispanic Heritage Month, celebrating Latinos culture, we present the Cuban artist Natasha Perdomo with a proclamation and unveil a piece of an art created exclusively for this occasion entitled No Landscape is Permanent. She has so graciously allowed us to exhibit this piece as a part of this year's Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. We will proudly display it on the walls of our city of the North Miami City Council. I also have a fun North Miami fact connected to Miss Perdomo. In 2015, her husband, Rafael Lopez Ramos, was recognized as the Hispanic Heritage Month artist when he unveiled the operetta in blue and orange in 2015, an acrylic all pastel on canvas 65 by 65. It exhibited in the show of the Caramatic Espadas at MoCA Museum.
Good afternoon. I'm Carol Keyes, the co-chair of the Hispanic Heritage Month, and I want to thank all of our committee, our chairs, Rosa Enriquez and Chief Blair Juriga, for all of their help this year, even though everything was done virtually. But I'm very excited that we could honor Natasha Perdomo this year, and I'd like to read this as our featured artist. I'm postgraduate of Art History, Grammar of Creative Writing, 1989, Havana University, Cuba. And whereas Perdomo uses acrylic, oil, pastel, charcoal on canvas or textured canvas paper to create her artwork, and whereas Natasha Perdomo selected solo exhibitions include No Landscape is Permanent, at Cowrie Art Studio, North Miami, Florida, 2019. Serendipity RDM Gallery, Linwood, parallel to Miami Fair, Miami, Florida, 2017. Walking Beside You in the Buddhist Temple, Havana Gallery, Vancouver, Canada, 1997. And whereas Natasha Perdomo selected group exhibitions, Syzygy, Museum of Contemporary Art, North Miami, MoCA, 2016. Haitian Art Relief Fund, Arte Americas Art Fair, curated by Edouard Duval Carey, Miami Beach Convention Center, Florida, 2010. Cuban Art Outside Cuba, State University of New York at Buffalo, New York, 2006. Whereas Natasha Perdomo was awarded the following grants: Oolite Arts Relief Fund and Moss Miami-Dade Artist Support, Miami-Dade County Department of Cultural Affairs, 2020. Collections, Amy Wong, Hong Kong, KGJ Collection, Ciudad Real, Spain. And whereas Natasha and her husband, Rafael Lopez Ramos, are the owners of Cowrie Art Studio, located in North Miami, they both live and work in North Miami, Florida. Whereas Natasha Perdomo was selected as a featured artist for the 2020 Hispanic Heritage Month art unveiling here today. Her exhibition will be on display in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month until October 31st, 2020. Now, therefore, in consideration of the foregoing, Mayor Philip Bianame, Vice Mayor Alex DeSulmi, Councilman Scott Galvin, Councilwoman Carol Keys, Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin, and on behalf of the residents, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, October 13th, 2020, to be Natasha Perdomo Day. In the city of North Miami, and urge all residents to join us in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you. We're very excited and proud of you, Natasha. And now we will unveil this beautiful landscape by Natasha.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank the City of North Miami and its organizing committee for inviting me and choosing one of my work during the Spanish Heritage Month celebration. Nature is the route to create a pattern for social, political, and economic events on the planet. Decides the future of the developed nation. Almost all our original Hispanic culture rely on crops for food and artisan production. Everything comes from the wise decision to make land healthy. The people will grow up happy and productive. During the Hispanic conquest, our ancestors lost part of their wealth and spiritual connection to Mother Earth, while mixing up with the new culture and new traditions. On this global, sad and difficult time that we are living, our ancestral wisdom urgently needs to emerge in order to achieve balance, peace, and harmony in our personal and spiritual landscapes, shaping also a beautiful and healthy planet to live. Long before the Spanish conquest, the Mayan held a secret oral mythology. The Popol Vuh is the history of creation according to the Quiché Maya of the region known today as Guatemala. Popol Vuh means Book of the Community, Book of the People. Here is a heritage legacy in one of his charters. The prayer of the Lord. Pleasing is the day you, hurricane, and you, part of the sky and earth, you both, who give abundance and new life, who give daughters and sons. They may provide you, sustain you, and call upon you on the road, on the pathway, and on the courses of the river, on the canyon, beneath the tree and the bushes. May there not be fall, shame, or misfortune to our descendants. May not deceiver come behind or before them. May they not be blamed or confined. May their assistance be favored to be provider and sustainer to you, part of the sky, and you, part of earth. I was painting this special paint para celebrar el mes de la celebración hispana, y fue precisamente siguiendo estos preceptos que nos fueron legados por nuestros ancestros, en que la esperanza, la luz, el color sean lo más importante para recordar que nuestra tierra necesita de esas sabidurías que nos legaron y seguir produciendo y seguir contribuyendo a la evolución de este planeta. Thank you for the invitation.
Good afternoon, everyone. And now we present Natasha Perdomo with a bouquet of flowers on behalf of Hispanic Heritage Month Committee.
Good afternoon. I'm Police Chief Larry Juriga, and I want to welcome you to the City of North Miami's Key to the City presentation in honor of Mr. Luis De Rosa. This presentation is a part of the City of North Miami's virtual Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. At this time, I'd like to introduce the City of North Miami's District 3 Councilwoman, Mary Estime Irvin, who is also a co-chairwoman of our 2020 Hispanic Heritage Month Committee. Councilwoman.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, it's a pleasure for me to be here to honor a very special person. Mr. De Rosa was chosen to be the Chamber's president at its founding, creating a network of business people and professionals, organizing business exposition and trade mission, and working daily to make South Florida Puerto Rican business community more successful and prosperous. Mr. De Rosa has taken the Chamber from infancy to maturity. Luis serves as a member of the board of the Borinquen Medical Center of Miami-Dade. He is a founding member and a past chairman of the Rafael Hernandez Housing and Economic Development Corporation, which has built houses within the city of Miami. He is a member of Miami-Dade County Affordable Housing Community. Mr. De Rosa is also among the creators of the Summit of the Puerto Rican Affairs, held annually in Central Florida, which seeks to develop the vision for the future of the Puerto Rico community in the state of Florida. Since its founding in 2000, Mr. De Rosa has served as a business developer / project manager with Dynamic Community Development Corporation, CDC, a nonprofit economic development corporation with a mandate to provide the small business community with the business, technical assistant, micro-lending, and job creation services. Mr. De Rosa serves as a volunteer with the Doherty Senior Arts Program, as well as Roberto Clement Youth Baseball Program. Mr. De Rosa resides in Miami-Dade County with his wife, children, and his 2 grandchildren. And now, I invite Mayor Philip Yanimate to the podium.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. It's a wonderful day in the beautiful city of North Miami. And today, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are here to pay tribute to an excellent individual in our community. I'm proud to be here today to honor the work of Luis De Rosa, President of the Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce, At this moment, please allow me to introduce to you our honoree. Mr. Luis De Rosa is a resident of South Florida since 1989. Has a long and impressive record in economic development, affordable housing, and community involvement. Raised and educated in New York, he began his career with West Bronx Economic Development Corporation. He subsequently worked for New York City Health and Hospital Corporation and the Bronx Venture Corporation. While employed there, he played a major role in the creation of South Bronx Board of Trade. And today, on behalf of the 65,000 plus residents of the beautiful city of North Miami, it's an honor for me to present the key to the city to Mr. Luis De Rosa. This is the key to the city of North Miami. Mr. Luis, you can open any door in the city at any time, 24/7, and send the chief of police is right there. And presented to Luis De La Rosa, president of South Florida Puerto Rican Chamber of Commerce, in recognition of your pioneering accomplishments and contributions to the South Florida community. Your continuous and exceptional efforts are greatly recognized. Presented by Philip Bien-Aimé, Mayor of the City of North Miami, on October 13, 2020. Congratulations, Mr. Luis.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is it yours? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you for your leadership within the city of North Miami and all that you do for the constituents and the families that live and work in this great city. I'm happy to say that you have an outstanding support staff as well, and thank them for their hard work as well. And of course, the police. You know, without the police, where would we be as a community? I am happy to say also, not only do I represent the Puerto Rican Chamber, but I'm also a member of a collaborative group of other chambers of commerce representing, you know, the Haitian community, representing the Dominican Republic community, the Cuban community, the Nicaraguan community, just to give you an example. And we come together once a year to try and work together to sort of exchange ideas and look towards the future, how we can lay the foundation for the next generation, for our children and our grandchildren. And that I believe that's the reason why you're in elected office, is to make it better for us now and of course for the future. But I'm also, as a member of the board of the Borinquen Medical Center, I'm very proud that we're playing a major role within the city of North Miami. We have a pediatric department here on 125th Street, just on the block from you. We have a dental office. We have an adult center as well. So we're providing and working with the community and working with the city to provide preventive health services to the residents. And that for me, it's a pleasure. Obviously, I know, Mr. Trophy, Kyoko, and other local businesses that are here, that are providing, that are part of the community, and many more. I've seen a great change in this community, I want you to know, and I'm very proud of the work that this administration is doing, and I thank you, and I ask God to bless us all, especially during this pandemic. And please wear a mask. Distance is very important. Very important for your health. Very important for your health. And on behalf of the board of directors at Borinquen Medical Center, Paul Velis is president. The chairlady of our. We're happy to continue to work with the city of North Miami and look to expand our services as well, because it is, preventive health care. So in the chamber, it's here, to work with anyone at any time. And we're very proud of our work. We're very proud of the relationship we have developed here in North Miami. So thank you, and God bless you. And let's move forward. God willing, next year is going to be even a better year. We had our trying times this year. It was difficult for all of us, for the families, because of the pandemic, because of the health issues in the community. But we know with God's help and with our family, number one, we're going to be moving forward. And it's a little patience. It's going to take some time, but we will get there. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Mr. DeRosa. Councilwoman. Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you, Mayor. This concludes our ceremony.
Thank you very much. And now it's COVID-19 update by Commander Angela Branson.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Commander Angelo Brunson, Emergency Manager for the City of North Miami. I have a brief update for COVID-19. Overall in the state of Florida, as of last night, Health Department reported 736,024 cases. In Miami-Dade County, they're reporting 175,000 cases. And as of last night in North Miami, they're reporting 1,385 cases. Now, those numbers are pretty high, but as a reminder, these numbers were being calculated since all the way back at the end of February up until now. Most of the cases have run their case. New cases are down, but we still must need to do everything we can to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The state of Florida is currently under phase 3 of reopening plans, and basically most, if not all, the businesses are open, but residents are reminded that in the city of North Miami, masks are mandatory. Even if you're outside, if you're in a situation where social distancing is not possible, you must wear a mask in the North Miami. Again, we must all do everything that we can to prevent the spread of COVID-19. There's more information about COVID-19 as well as a program that the city's offering. If you visit northmiamifl.gov, there's a button right on the front page where you can click on and get all the information on COVID-19. And finally, before I close, an update on the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. At this time, we're monitoring one tropical wave that's out in the Atlantic, but the good news is that it has less than a 20% chance of developing into a tropical cyclone. That's the report I have for now, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Commander Branson. Do you have any question for Commander Branson? If none, let's move to the next one. 2020 census update by the administration.
Yes, how you doing, Mayor and Council? Very briefly, I just wanted to give a brief update. Ricardo, you can pull up the PowerPoint, please, and proceed to the second slide. Right now, as we stand, North Miami, we're at 61.9%. A point away from our response rate at 2010. When we first started our initial reach out, we were, I believe, at about 58% when we ramped it up the last 2 months. Next slide, Ricardo. This just shows our progression. We tracked to make sure that we were doing it, that our efforts weren't going, that we weren't just spending money for no reason, and we tracked our efforts to show when we show increase every week that we were going up in our numbers in every district and every tract that we had individuals walking in. Next slide, Ricardo. So we had a phone bank, we had 5 street teams, and we had a social media ad campaign. It just details out what we did when we moved forward with the campaign. Right now, the social media ad campaign is the only thing that's still going, and we're still doing radio ads as well. Next slide, Ricardo. As everybody's aware, the deadline got extended again to October 31st. So we're still encouraging people through our social media, constant contacts, radio, to do their census, but we do not have any more individuals on the street. So we'll continue with that. We know we will at least get to our number that we did in 2010, but we should be slightly higher than our number. And that's the end. Thank you, Ricardo.
I see some area we are at 78%. And, if there's no question, do we have any question? No.
I still would just like to thank everyone. I know all of you had a hand in us getting to the rate, the number. We were lacking behind with COVID, and I know all of you jumped in to help us out to get there and helped us push it. So thank you, really appreciate it. And that's it. Thank you.
Can you email me that report, please?
Yes, I'll send it to everyone right now.
Thank you very much. And now let's move to the next item. Consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this afternoon's virtual regular council meeting. This meeting will allow live public comment by attendees. Public hearing will take place upon announcement by the chair of the meeting, Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé. And from that time, attendees will be able to virtually raise their hand, and this should function similarly to lining up at the podium. Attendees cannot leave their hand raised throughout the entire meeting, so if you raise your hand before an item is read, it will be removed. Don't forget to state your full name and complete address for the record. And remember that you will have up to 2 minutes to make your comment. Thank you in advance for your understanding and your feedback. For those of you who are participating by phone, please remember that you can press *9 to raise your hand. And for those of you who are participating through the web application, please click on the small hand that you see within the application. Thank you. Unless a member of the City Council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through E constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be recorded as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion: that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through E be adopted.
Thank you very much. Can I hear a motion on the consent?
So moved.
I second it.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the consent agenda. The motion was seconded by Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Tab F.
Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding and substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and the Dade County Police Benevolent Association to provide for the 1% hazardous pay supplement funded by Miami-Dade County, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab F.
City administration, do we have any update? Do we have any presentation?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. As you know, this is one of the requirements that we received from the county in order to provide supplemental emergency funds to the police officers. This is a 1% that the county is going to be providing. It should be cost neutral to the city. So really, this is just a pass-through. So the police will be getting 1%. If there's any sort of pension ramifications or pension effects, they're paying that also. I don't know what the number is. The administration can provide you with that, but this is just a requirement that the county gave us in order to provide that 1% pay to our first responders.
Thank you very much. That's it? Okay. Do you have any other presentation by, if none, do you have any question on the dais before we move it for public comment? No. Let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab F.
To speak on this item, please press *9 or raise your hand.
Public hearing is open on tab F. Public hearing is now.
So move.
Second.
Mayor, it does not appear that we have any hands raised on this item.
Thank you very much.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Desilme to approve the item at tab F. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estime Irvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Tab G, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving and adopting the North Miami 5-year 2020-2024 consolidated plan and fiscal year 2020-2021 annual action plan under the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, and Home Investment Partnerships Program, HOME programs, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab G.
Good afternoon. Director Albert Bazell from Housing and Social Services does have a presentation on this item.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City and Council members, through the City Manager. Staff is requesting this afternoon approval of the 5-year consolidated plan and the fiscal year 2020-2021 annual action plan. The City of North Miami is an entitlement community that received both Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, and Home Investment Partnership Program funding. And as such, it is a hard mandate as grantees that we prepare a consolidated plan every 5 years that outlines the needs and priorities of the residents, as well as submitting every year an annual action plan based on those needs and priorities identified in the consolidated plan. It's not a process that we put together overnight. For that, we hired the city hired a consultant, Axe Development Solution, who was on the call if for any technical question. It's gonna take a long time to go through 189 pages. As we have put together a summary of what's inside the consolidated plan through a PowerPoint presentation. Next slide, please, Ricardo. Here we are telling you what is the 2020 consolidated plan and the 2021 action plan. The 2024 consolidated plan is a required 5-year strategic plan for community block grant, CDBG, and home funding. It includes identifying housing and community development needs, prioritizes those needs since funding is limited, establish goals and activities for funding based on the priority, and make an estimate of what the city is going to receive for the next 5 years. And as you can see below, the projection for the city for the next 5 years, we will receive 3.8 million in CDBG fundings and home 1.5 million. What is the action plan? This one comes to you every year because every year we receive our program grant from HUD, and we need to tell HUD every year how we're gonna spend that money. And how we're gonna spend it, we always have to go back to the consolidated plan where we said what are our priorities. So here we lay out how the fund will be used. And like I said, it must be consistent with the 5 years consolidated plan. And we need to pitch in what the city is going to invest and what other source of funding that we have when we used to have SHIP. Unfortunately, we haven't received any SHIP grant for this year. For this fiscal year, we have received from the allocation for the city for this year in CDBG is a total of 769,534 in CDBG and 298,254 in home. And last fiscal year, we have recaptured fundings under the CDBG program for $7,241 and in home, $18,619. Next slide, please. How do we get to those numbers? How do we determine those priorities and those needs? It is, again, it's a mandate. We have to go through the process, and it's required by HUD. First of all, we need to have the citizen participation, and this includes public meetings, online surveys, agency consultation, and public 30-day public comment that is mandatory to have everybody input in this consolidated plan. Besides the citizen participation, we have to do a needs assessment and housing market analysis. From those two, from the citizen participation and the need assessment, we set the priority. We use the survey data and the demographic economics data analysis, and then we allocate the funds. Once we allocate the funds, we need to get local approval. The first thing that we did, this item was presented to the Planning Commission, which is considered as one of our public meetings as well for public input. It was approved by the Planning Commission unanimously, and it's in front of you today for seeking approval. Once you approve it tonight, this consolidated plan will be forwarded to HUD by October the 15th for approval, and then we will receive the funding to start implementing those activities. Ricardo? How did we proceed? As I explained earlier, we went through survey. Here we have a table of how many survey did we receive, how many agencies we contacted. We had a public meeting for all residents on August the 4th. We have radio advertising, inviting people to participate in those meetings. We have the Planning Commission. The draft of the plan was available for a month on the city's website, at City Hall, and at the Housing and Social Office, satellite office located at Northwest 7th Avenue, 13753. And the last public input that we can have, we're gonna have is this meeting that we are holding right now. Next slide, please. For fiscal year 2020, fiscal year 2024 priorities, HUD is required, it's required that we focus on the high needs. Because here it says city should use federal funds for activities under this priority to address unmet needs. Now, if we have other public or private or other local funds, we can use them. You can put it in addition to address other needs. But the high priorities, we need to use HUD fundings to address those priorities. Ricardo. And here we have a table of what was the priorities for the past 5 years when you guys adopted the consolidated plan in 2015, 2019, as opposed to what it is this year. As you all can see on the board, there is a shift in the priorities. If you look at, let me look at quickly the first three from 2015, 2019 consolidated plan. The priority, the top priority at that time was production of new housing units, acquisition and rehabilitation of existing unit, ownership, stuff like that. As opposed now in fiscal year 2020, in the while we had to do our consolidated plan in the middle of the pandemic, I think a lot of priority have shifted. We have rehabilitation of existing owner-occupied home, which comes on top this time. General public services to the CBOs, homeless prevention, homeowner assistance. So there is a shift basically in the priorities in, inside the city. Next slide, please, Ricardo. Here, quickly, we are looking at what's coming our way this year. This year, we are receiving, as I explained earlier, from CDBG, $769,534. From home, we're gonna receive $298,154, and we captured funds a total of $25,800. Next slide, please. And here our action plan for this year. Under the CDBG program, we received $769,530 now. How we distribute that funding, it's based on the priorities I just showed earlier. and the needs based on survey needs assessment conducted by our consultant to put together this consolidated plan. As you all know, there is a 20% that the city can use to administer the grant. We allocated all the 20% because we're not getting into the COVID. We choose not to get that much in the COVID portion. For CDBG housing, there is no limit for the rehabilitation program. CDBG public services, we allocated $130,430. There is a cap for the CDBG public services, but HUD has waived this cap for this year, 2020-21. So instead of the $115,430, we have added an additional $15,000 for public services. Those fundings goes to the CBOs. The elderly, there is a high demand, a high needs to assist the elderly. We have put a little lump sum of $50,000, an additional $10,000 of the previously published action plan to the elderly. This one got no limit as well. This year, we haven't put any money for public facilities and for economic development. So the total that we are receiving from HUD is here, $769,534. And to that, we add the recaptured funds from last year, 1920, $7,241, which give us a total of $776, $775 that we can use from CDBG. Next page, Ricardo. And for home, it's a little less compared to CDBG. We are receiving $290.
I'm sorry. Can you go back? I'm sorry. One second, please.
CDBG.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. You could go on. Okay.
Keep going.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Like I explained, for home, the appropriation is a little bit less than the CDBG funding. Here, we cannot exceed 10%, so we stuck at 10%. Again, here, there is a requirement, a set aside required for the SHODO. That was waived by HUD. And this one, you guys already adopted that when we move the money from SHODO to emergency tenant-based rental. So if you look at the bottom, the money that was supposed to be set aside for SHODO, we move it to emergency tenant-based rental to assist residents in their rental needs. First-time home buyer, we have $40,000. Home single family rehabilitation, we have $171,616. And basically the regular home rental assistance that usually we have to assist people move in a new apartment, we raise it to $12,000. $12,000. So again, the total received from home is $298,154. Added to the program income, the recaptured funds that we collected from last year, $18,619. We have a total of $316,773 available in home funding for this year. I think this concludes my presentation. I'm available for your question. And here with us, we have our consultant, Chris. If there is any technical question that need to be answered, he is available to answer this question.
Thank you very much. Who's first? Questions on the dais? If there is none, let's move it to the public. Public hearing is open on the item.
As a reminder, press *9 if you would like to raise your hand, or if you're using the web application, please raise your hand.
Public hearing is open on tab G.
So far, we do have one hand raised. That is Lorraine Steen. Lorraine Steen, I'm going to unmute you now. Please remember that you have 2 minutes to speak. Please start by saying your full name and address for the record. Lorraine Steen.
I'm sorry, but I currently pressed it by mistake. It was an error.
It
Thank you
keeps
very
happening. I keep seeing your hand go up and down, so.
Yeah, I'm no longer touching it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Public
If you
hearing
would
is
like,
now-
if you would like to speak on this item, please press *9 if you're participating by phone. If you're in the web application, please click on the hand button. Mayor, at this time, we do not have any hands raised.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is now closed. Let's go back to the dais. Do we have any question? If there is none, can I hear a motion to approve the item?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab G. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Tab H.
Tab H, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute an interlocal agreement for federally funded subaward in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and Miami-Dade County for the reimbursement of eligible expenses from coronavirus aid relief and Economic Security Act, parentheses, CARES Act funds, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab H.
Thank you very much. Do we have any presentation from the administration?
Mayor, all I'd like to add to this is that this is the item we talked about at the beginning of the meeting. There is a Scrivener's error in the fourth whereas clause. And the fourth whereas clause, the numbers should be 100 million, 75 million, and 25 million, which is the numbers that correspond to what the county gave us. Right now they read 100,000, 75,000, 25,000. And again, this agreement is required in order for us to receive any reimbursements from CARES Act dollars that the county's provided.
And so on the CARES Act, as you all know, the money that came in from the federal government, most of it was allocated to the county. And the county made a decision to set aside a total of $100 million for all municipalities. They're set aside $75 million to reimburse for either FEMA-related or emergency-related costs, and the $25 million towards programs. One of the requirements is to submit this interlocal agreement so they can start doing reimbursements. Our team has already started submitting for some reimbursements, but in order to get paid on those, we would have to submit this agreement, and so we're submitting this now. There were as of last week, 21 other cities had already signed off on the interlocal agreement. It is important to note that although they've put $75 million towards getting reimbursements, they received almost double that, about $116 million in requests for that $75 million. And additionally, they also, for the $25 million, they received a total of about $52 million. We're slated in our programs for about $1.2 million if all of our programs are approved for all the dollar amounts. With respect to our reimbursements for costs that we have put out, there is a possibility that not every cost that we have expended will be able to be reimbursed through this program based on the amount of requests that have been made through all the other municipalities.
At this point, do you know how much money you're going to be received?
No, we don't. What we do know is that we have submitted in excess of about $2 million, about $2.5 million for approval. As of the last date of approval, it was roughly about $300,000 that was already approved by the county. But in order to get that amount, it's on a first come, first served basis with respect to getting all of the documents approved by the consultants.
Thank you very much. And sorry, you done?
Yes, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's open it to the public. Public hearing is open on tab H.
For those of you wishing to speak on this item, if you are participating by phone, please press *9. If you're participating through the web application, please press the hand.
Public hearing is open on top page. None. Public hearing is now closed. Let's bring it to the dais. If there is no question, can I have a motion to approve it?
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab H. The motion was seconded by Vice Mayor Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you very much. And now, citizen forum.
If you would like to make a comment during Citizens Forum, please click on the hand button. If you are participating by phone, please press *9. I will first commence with some comments that were previously submitted, and I will alternate between hands that are raised. Remember, to speak on this item, you will need to raise your hand, so please click on the hand button. Laura Hill, 13075, Griffin Boulevard, North Miami, Florida, 33161. I am writing regarding the proposed transit hub that is going to vote on October 20th. I am asking you to communicate to the county commission and to ask for the vote to be delayed until after the 2020 presidential election, if not until after the new year. The public does have intense feelings about this, and I do believe that most North Miami residents are distracted by the 2020 presidential election and have not followed the new development that the station stop is focused on Northeast 151st now. I think many would be surprised that it is no longer the Northeast 123rd stop that our council and mayor seem to be set on now. 2020 has been a difficult year. However, we must always remember to be conscious of the will of the residents and what is best for our community. As the Urban Land Institute suggested in their study on the Arch Creek Basin, in order for our city to be resilient in the future, we must begin to think seriously about mass transit. We must be careful to plan our city in such a way that will benefit all our residents now and into the future. The Northeast 125th stop makes sense. It will be a feeder into our downtown and will benefit the businesses as well. The downtown is really in need of a boost, and the train stop would give that in the long term. It also makes sense with our own city's master plan and downtown development plan. Why would we just ignore all of that information seemingly out of nowhere? This is a pivotal decision, and I ask it to be given the time and communication that it deserves. Please ask the county commission to delay the discussion and item so as to include your residents more transparently. I will also submit this letter to tomorrow's meeting so that it is included on that record. Thank you so much for your consideration. Sincerely, Laura Hill. Okay.
Do you have any more comments?
Mayor, I'm just trying to set the timer.
Oh, okay.
Robert Husted, 1150 Northeast 123rd Street, North Miami, Florida, 33161. Dear Mr. Mayor and esteemed commissioners, it is my sincere hope that you will make our city's resolution to support a train station at Northeast 123rd/Northeast 125th and Northeast 14th Avenue known on October 20th when the Miami-Dade County Commissioners reconvene to discuss the Northeast Corridor Railway. Our city planners, along with many dedicated members of our community, have worked long, hard, and diligently to create not only our downtown redevelopment zone, but also a special transit overlay to spur development in the downtown area of our beloved city. To ignore the revised idea of only including Northeast 151st Street would allow North Miami to fall into further decay and would keep us as the drive-through city. Without this station on Northeast 123rd, 125th Street, our downtown will not prosper. Traffic through it will increase and will fail our citizens in efforts to revitalize the downtown and possibly the west side. Please consider presenting a united front at the October 20th meeting by having you, our mayor, along with all our commissioners speaking support of including Northeast 123rd, 125th Street in the Northeast Corridor Railway plans. I will now move on to Speaker Jason James, I am going to unmute you now. Please state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to speak. All right, Jason James, we have sent you a PIN. Please enter that PIN so that you may unmute and speak. Okay, while Jason James is getting that PIN entered so that they can unmute themselves, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and read another comment in the meantime. Franco Benayoun Architects, Marcus Franco, President, 1166 Kane Concourse, Suite 200, Bay Harbor Island, 33154. Dear Mayor Bien-Aimé, respective council members, and city clerk, having read the comments/recommendations of Mr. Robert Husted attached below, I find myself in complete agreement with his recommendations to locate the much-needed train station on Northeast 125th Street and Northeast 14th Avenue, adjacent to the railroad, as this location will best serve the city and the new redevelopment area of the downtown city hall and the cultural arts/MoMA district. Clearly, the train station will help to further and encourage the redevelopment efforts of this downtown and the city's cultural district, which seems to now have some positive new development efforts, and it will add much convenience to link up North Miami centrally to downtown Miami, DC, and to the South Florida region. Additionally, the location of the train station on Northeast 125th Street / Northeast 14th Avenue will also help to serve the important neighboring cities / communities to the east and help to foster further linkages of these eastern communities, parentheses, via Northeast 125th Street and the Broad Causeway, to the city of North Miami, including the communities of Keystone Island, Sans Souci Estates, Bay Harbor Island, Surfside, Bal Harbor, and even to Haulover Beach and the neighborhoods of North Beach. Clearly, as an architect / planner, developer, and neighbor, I believe that the train station location of Northeast 125th Street / Northeast 14th Avenue will be a positive service / transportation facility to foster better connections, communications, and convenient neighborhood linkages for all the many adjacent communities to the city of North Miami. All right, Jason James, I'm going to unmute you now. So please state your name, address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to speak.
Can everyone hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. I apologize. This is Jason James, address 1560 Northwest 129th Street, North Miami, Florida, 33167. Yes, I just want to thank everyone for everyone's time. I'll try to make it brief. I am speaking today on behalf of DAPAC, who, just as a quick reminder, we're a group of stakeholders dedicated, of course, to all things downtown North Miami, and who've also helped spearhead and worked with city staff and council to bring about some really good projects in the extended area of downtown, including the Irons Manor and the Liberty Gardens Park. So today, I just wanted to kind of voice our opinion as a group, kind of what we're advocating for, which is, the station being at Northeast 125th. Seems that there's other people in the community who also are in agreements with us. And I just wanted to just briefly touch upon, 3 important documents, that everyone has been working on the city level since 2014 to try to make something like this happen in our community. And because it just makes sense when you think about all the public connectivity that we need to happen in downtown. And so that first document is obviously our 2014 Downtown Master Plan, we've been following the script that was laid out there, where it mentions very early on the document about, the railway station being proposed at this intersection and how it would help promote an efficient transportation system for our visitors and the residents in the community. So that was like kind of, I think as a resident, that was kind of the first document that I saw kind of laying the groundwork. And, since that happened, the planning commission came about and redid a lot of the zoning in that area just to kind of prep for something, a project of this caliber, decided to see it happen in that area. Because the needs proved that. And so that was kind of the first, I think, document that we worked on or kind of looked at and said that, hey, this may warrant this station in this location. And following that became, the CRA's spearheading of the mobility hub and TOT strategic plan, where it also supports the station, at this location. So, having those two critical documents kind of, as we're saying as a city that we approved it, and this is the vision that we had, we're just hoping that, everyone on the council can do their best to voice support over at the Board of County Commission when it comes up, for discussion here shortly. And, just because it just makes sense to us and all the studies. Speaking of which, the last one I do want to mention before I let others speak is the fact that in 2019, FDOT's, I guess they had a special Tri-Rail Coastal Link project. They did a development study whose independent study kind of also agreed with us. And we do have a written statement from their team where they point out what the common goals that they have identified in our reports and theirs, which included the transit accessibilities, street grid connectivity, and the redevelopment, the potential redevelopment of the area surrounding the station. So, we just hope that, as DAPAC, we try to promote everything that's kind of downtown centric, and we see this as a need, especially with the 3P project that we kind of see looming in the future here for our city hall, or potential of that. And we think this will be right in line with it. So I'll let others speak, and I just hope that everyone in the council will support our board's position on this matter. Thank you very much.
Polls already opened.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam.
I'm going to read a previously submitted one, and after that, I will call on some others. We'll start with, once I'm done with this comment, we'll start with Christopher Campos and then proceed to Sam Black. Sarah McDevitt, 14490 Northeast 10th Avenue, North Miami, Florida, 33161. Dear Mayor and Council, many studies of the Northeast Corridor train line have been done by the county to identify viable locations for station stops. I attended Charette's in 2018, outlining the findings of the most recent studies. A very clear picture of where transit riders are and how they can best be served was outlined during those meetings. North Miami at 125th Street was identified as a very important stop, ranking behind only Miami Central, Aventura, and vying for the third or fourth slot with the Midtown, depending on the scenario used for growth over time. Since that study was released, the city of North Miami has made significant strides in planning for a future rail stop at 125th. A mobility hub overlay was produced outlining multimodal access to the 125th site, and efforts are being made to implement the plan. New zoning for the area ensures that density in the area can be increased to create even more opportunity around a station stop. Our CRA has undertaken a downtown revitalization plan that promises new businesses, residences, and a new government center only blocks from the proposed train stop. Independent transit studies have shown that the most successful service points follow the lead of the communities they plan to serve. 125th Street has all of the hallmarks needed for a successful stop. Mid-priced and modest income multi-story housing already exists within a quarter to half a mile of the proposed site and is fully occupied. These are not snowbirds or speculators. There is space plus new zoning for significantly more. The street is an access point with a direct multi-lane roadway east to the beach and west to I-95. 125th Street is a current transit corridor. Multiple bus lines already run to this site or stop within a quarter mile of the site. I implore you, the elected leaders of our community, to advocate for the station stop in the heart of downtown. The city of North Miami, your constituents and small business owners want to know you are fighting for them. Christopher Campos, I'm going to now unmute you. Please remember to state your name and address for the record, and you have 2 minutes to speak.
Christopher Campos, Lost City Brewing Company, 12207 Northeast 13th Court, North Miami, Florida, 33161. Any initiative to bring foot traffic to downtown North Miami should be supported. It would be a huge economic boom for businesses. It would bring a great deal of individuals into the area, and also would encourage individuals to move into the area, adding a train stop to 125th.
Thank you very much. Public hearing is still open. Citizen forum. Madam Clerk.
Sam Blatt, I'm going to unmute your microphone. Please unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes. Sam Blatt.
All right. Good afternoon. Sam Blatt, 1750 North Bayshore Drive, Miami, Florida. Good to see all of you, Mayor and Council, again. As you probably know, I was the Economic Development Manager for North Miami until a little over a year ago. I haven't spoken to you guys since I left the city at a public hearing, but I felt compelled today because of the item that others have spoken on regarding the transit stop at 125th Street, not 151st Street. I decided I wanted to speak today because there were a few projects. First of all, I still love North Miami and I wanted to succeed. And there are a few projects that would have as a direct and lasting benefit on the working class residents of the city, its business owners, and the overall health and well-being of the community as a transit stop on 125th Street. That is not an exaggeration. I'm not here to litigate the case for 125th Street over 151st. I realize that can't be done in a 2-minute comment, but I saw this agenda item on the County Commission last Tuesday saying that the Miami-Dade County Commission wanted to say 151st Street was the correct stop, and I realized the city needed to act. Everyone else has already explained to you guys, and you guys know that, the SFRTA, the Miami-Dade County TPO, and the city itself have all recognized that 125th Street is the appropriate stop. You guys conducted the Mobility Hub Strategic Plan that the staff did, that you voted to approve and pass. To my knowledge, there's been no such plan done for 151st Street. I realize you guys can't force the county commission to do anything they don't want to do. But what you can do is be the champions and advocates of this community and fight for what's right and what's right for your residents. We're asking you guys not even just to speak at public hearings. That's not going to be good enough, right? We need you guys to please schedule meetings with commissioners, write letters, emails, and implore them to reconsider 125th Street as the preferred location, or at the very least request a study to be conducted for 151st Street. I know it's not easy. I know it requires a lot of work and advocacy on your part, but that's exactly why you guys were elected to do that. And I hope you will show the County Commission where the North Miami community stands on this important issue. Thank you all.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mr. Black.
Citizen forum still open.
Claudia Pazmino, 13504 Northeast 23rd Place, North Miami, Florida, 33181. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, and staff. I'm asking you all for your support and help in making sure that Northeast 123rd being where the commuter rail station will be for North Miami. Please do not ignore all the studies that were conducted with the result of 123rd Street being the best option for the city. We have Mocha, great restaurants and business in the heart of downtown Nomi and near it. Having a stop at 123rd Place will encourage those outside of Nomi to come and visit these places, as well as being a convenient place for the residents to hop on the train. Also, please do not ignore but respect the wishes of the residents. The majority of the residents have expressed in the past their support for station slash stop to be at this location. Do not do the mistake of a few years ago with the GO bond, where the majority of the residents stated several times that they were not for it, but the city continued to waste time, money, and resources by continuing to have town halls, meetings, and finally the special election. Listen to your residents / fellow neighbors when they speak and keep saying the same thing. Thank you. Carmela Furman, interim president of Nomi Neighbors, 125 Northeast 4th Avenue, North Miami, Florida, 33161. Hello, Council and Mayor. Nomi Neighbors Neighborhood Association would like to ask that you advocate for a commuter rail station on Northeast 123rd. It is prime location for residents and for all the businesses, especially our downtown businesses. It's hard to understand how so much effort is being placed on revitalizing our downtown, but little effort towards a train station. A station on 151st is not helping North Miami residents. It is not in our best interest. We ask that you do what you are elected to do, fight for us, stand up for us. City on the move. Thank you. All right, I'm going to now pass the mic over to James Garrett. James Garrett, I'm going to unmute you now. Please unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to make your comment.
Thank you. James Garrett, 645, represent my mom at 645 Northwest 132nd Street. The train station at 123rd Street, 125th Street, and Northeast 14th Avenue is a key location for a city. It's going to key connection for a city. It's going to connect our downtown business district to the empty Johnson and Wales University property. And that's very critical at this time. We need a station at this location. So it will make that property attractive to another investor to come in, or investors, or another group, maybe Miami-Dade College or Miami Public Schools Technical College. It would serve as an economic incubator. Also, we should go for a second station at 151st Street. I agree. We should ask for 2 instead of 1. We should ask for 2 loaves of bread. The station at 150, as it stated before by the previous speakers, the station at 123rd Street serves the best interest of the community, and it links up the residents, the hardworking residents on the west side, to transit. If we funnel in the Northeast shuttles into the 2 stations, all people can get to better job opportunities along the coast and cut down the commute now that's on the public bus system. Thank you.
Citizen forum.
I'm asking. I sent a letter.
Citizen forum.
Michael McDermott, I'm going to unmute you now. Please state your name and address for the record. And well, first unmute yourself and then state your name and address for the record. And remember that you have 2 minutes to make your comment. Michael McDermott, please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record. Michael McDermott, please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mayor, Council, I know that a lot of my fellow citizens have made some wonderful comments. I'm vice chair of the North Miami Chamber of Commerce and also a member of the DAPAC committee, a member of the Coalition of Homeowners Associations, and president of the Irons Manor Homeowners Association. And I really, really believe that this station at 123rd Street is vital to the development of the city of North Miami and to benefit all of its citizens. You know, the FDOT is spending a lot of money on 125th Street to try and make it a better thoroughfare in all regards for our citizens and for the travelers through our city. The CRA is speaking now about a redevelopment, a major $200 million possibly redevelopment of downtown, and for us not to have a train station on 123rd Street just takes away from all those initiatives. I would sincerely hope that the City Council might actually pass a resolution supporting a train station at 123rd. We're not taking away from 151st. The conversation at the county commission has been about 2 additional stations to make it 7 rather than 5. We certainly are in a position of what we are doing in our efforts to develop North Miami to be eligible for another station on 123rd. It's important to everything we're trying to do in the city to bring business, to bring citizens, to bring travel, to really enhance the lives and the quality of life for everybody in this city. So again, I agree with Sam that this requires a real concerted effort. And I think that might start with a resolution of the City Council just endorsing the stop at 123rd Street. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Citizen Forum.
Geo Darter / Caridad Property 1, business and property owner, Copper Bridge Foundation, 1085 Northeast 135th Street, North Miami, Florida, 33161. My name is Geo Darter, and I am the founder of Copper Bridge Foundation, a North Miami-based nonprofit. We are currently working on a multi-property art project near Griffin Park that will attract many visitors to our city, and the 125th station is very important to our project. I am monitoring the progress to ensure we receive this important station that our city truly needs. Respectfully, Geo Darter. I will now call on David Burney. David Burney, please unmute yourself, state your name and address for the record, and remember that you have 2 minutes to speak. David Burney, please unmute yourself. David Burney, please unmute yourself.
I apologize. This is Rudy Single Theophan. I was using David Burney link, and I'm actually like to thank the mayor and commissioners, councilwoman and men. I'm here on behalf of North Miami Chambers of Commerce. I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse in regards to what's going on, but I mean, we're saying the same thing essentially. I know that stop at 123rd is essential. We know the implication that COVID had on these businesses. These businesses are hurting, right? So it is an opportunity for us to take advantage. And I know there's only so much that the city can do, but we're definitely pleading to see if we can do something, whether it's a coalition or a consensus, where we can really make our voice heard, because the city of North Miami voice should be heard. I mean, the people overwhelmingly have spoken, and we're in favor for it for the common sense reasons. So in the end of the day, we definitely need to find a way to come up with a solution to really have that stop available at 123rd. You know, I don't want to go over the same items everyone just went over. So at the end of the day, it's really upon us to take that initiative. And we just hope that we can have the elected officials do as much as possible, utilize us as a community to come together and fight to get this done. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So that is it, Mayor. I do not have any other hands raised on this item, nor do I have any other previously submitted comments.
Thank you very much. Citizen Forum is now closed. And now it's council report. District 1, Councilman Galvin.
Sure. First off, to IT, thank you for helping me get up and running today. I continue to receive during the meeting today complaints that the Channel 77 feed was freezing and not working and things. So I just told them I would share that with you so that you can work on it for the next meeting. For staff, I'd like to hear, this city council has so many times supported, pushed, and advocated for a train stop at 123rd Street for years. So somehow the narrative has gotten changed that we're not fighting for it or not pushing for it. I'm going to probably have everybody, Madam City Clerk, if you'll share me those names, set up a Zoom so that I can learn a little bit about what their concerns are. I had a particular county commissioner at my house last Sunday morning so that we could discuss this item. North Miami is committed to a 123rd Street stop if at all possible. Keep in mind, please, 151st Street is also in the city of North Miami. I'd love to say we're going to get 2 stops, but we're probably only going to get 1 because this is a speed rail situation, not like Tri-Rail might be every few hours. But I just want to say for the public, repeated years, this council has pushed for 123rd Street. So you can count on me to continue to fight, but I don't want it to be a narrative on how this council is just sitting back like a limp noodle. That's all I want.
Councilwoman Keys, well, you may be speaking now, but if you're not speaking, just put yourself on mute.
Yeah,
Mayor, do you have the TV on in the background?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we can hear you well now. I wasn't sure if you had a TV on in the background.
No, I'm not. Councilwoman Keys, for your report.
Yes, thank you. Yes, with regard to this train stop, I'm not going to go over the background. This train stop has been in our comprehensive plan since 2005. Jason James eloquently listed all the studies.
Councilwoman Keys, it seems that you accidentally muted yourself.
Now, okay, so did you hear any of this?
Up until Jason James so eloquently stated.
Okay, so we spent over a year doing more studies, more city studies, transit studies to give and change our zoning to make 125th and the half-mile radius a transit, a TOD zone. We have changed our zoning to show we are committed to this train station. We have developers that are coming here, big developments. We now have Johnson and Wales, which is going to be redeveloped, I assume, for housing. We cannot give up. Yes, 151st Street makes sense. It's a great stop, but we are taking so much from our residents. Our residents need the ability to commute, to get downtown. We need to bring people in. And I mean, I can't say how important this is. Up until just a couple weeks ago, it was, yes, 125th is the stop, and we're looking to have 2 stops. Seem to have one commissioner that is hell-bent on taking it away from us and has been in that position for a couple years. Been telling our residents 125th is off the table. I don't know what happened and what this vote is, and I've asked our manager and attorney, and I'm going to ask you all today, Ms. Manager, what exactly is this vote on? Is this to eliminate 125th? Because we do need this. Our city, our residents, we have spent time, we've invested, and it is really needed. This is all the studies have pointed to, even the Bright Line studies have pointed to, this is the route. This is the east-west route from Miami Beach to I-95. You get off at 151st, this is serving only the developers of Solomia and FIU. This is not serving our city, our development. We want our city to grow. We need this station. Someone asked me to put another resolution on here, the council today, but I thought we have already passed so many resolutions that we support the train station. Maybe we could all speak today, Councilman Galvin has. I'm also going to ask all of the residents who called in today to please go ahead, sign up for the county meeting on the 20th, and they will give you it's 1 minute or 2 minutes to speak. I got on at the 8th meeting, but I was speaking also on the FAA, which is another issue that's really important affecting us. So, Ms. Manager, if you could tell us exactly what this means, and if we need to do any kind of further informal resolution that we still support it and want it, I will do whatever it takes, but I just don't. It wasn't really a county thing. This is a private business, so I'm not sure exactly what this all means, and it's happening very quickly. So, I apologize, but, what is this vote about? And what does the county have to do with it as opposed to Brightline or Tri-Rail or anything else? Thank you.
Madam City Manager.
So we're in the process currently of kind of looking back to see what we've done in the past. My understanding is that they were passing through the county some of the top options, which is what, when I sent the memo so that we knew what was there. And you are correct in saying that they are, privately held. I think there are issues that deal with how they would get additional funding to be in different areas, like 151 versus 125. However, you correctly stated that the city has been supporting, 125th. Ultimately, I don't know that it would be up to us. But what they were submitting was their top 3 station sites. And one of the top 3 is 151st. Now, originally when they talked about the plan years back when it first came, they had initially talked about having more stations than the number that they have here. But right now, they're starting with their top 3. And as far as their top 3, 123rd is not in their top 3. So we're going to pull previous resolutions passed by this board, and I'll put those together and report back to the council about what we might be able to do as next steps. But my understanding that this is a vote for the top 3 sites, and this decision has been mainly made by them and some of the others supporting those areas. And 151, given that it has the traffic that it has from FIU and the new development, as far as one of their top sites, that was more attractive to them. But you are correct that in terms of what we're trying to do to develop our downtown, having that on 123rd would be basically the perfect fit for North Miami. So we'll go back and I'll bring something on the next board. We'll talk about it, either maybe a discussion item and or a presentation about what we've done in the past.
Who is them? You keep talking about them. Are we talking the county? Or are we talking Brightline?
So Brightline is the one that's making those decisions about which ones are their top 3 sites. The county is voting also on part of what the top 3 sites. They brought that to the council.
I don't understand that.
For Brightline.
Thank you very much. And one of the points, the county and the federal government, and they try to secure funding from the state, the county, and the federal government. That's why they said the top 3 sites they identify for now is 151 is one of them. And now, if the city want to push for another site, now we're going to have to sit down with the county and Brightline and see what will be the expenses when it comes to, and I think the city manager should be having a discussion with whether it's the county and Brightline to know what will be the requirement in order for the city to acquire an additional site like 123rd. That's when it seems like there's a fight between the county. The county want to spend over $100 million in funding for those sites. And one of the locations that choose to spend the money to accommodate North Miami and North Miami Beach, it seems like 151. But now, if we want to add another site, I think as a council, we need to fight and see what will be the need, what we need to do, and what will be our part in making that decision. Councilwoman Keys, yes.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we are not adding another site. We are trying to keep the site that has been on the table for the past 15 years. They have taken it away from us to give to the developers up at Solomia and the new development on 151st. They're taking it away. We're not asking for a new site. We're asking to keep our site. We're fighting for our site.
No, we understand. I think I understand your point, and I'm with you on having a site on 123rd Street. What I'm trying to telling you now, they identify 3 prime locations for them to spend their money.
Well, they're taking it away from the minority commuters, minority residents who really need this, not just a convenience to go up to Solomia or to FIU. They're really taking it away from residents who really need this, a city that really needs it for development. I think it's a terrible thing that they're doing. And I hope we fight for it.
Thank you very much. And now let's go to District 3. Councilwoman Estime Irvin. Let's go to District 4 so we can come back to Councilwoman Estime Irvin. Vice Mayor Desulme.
Mr. Mayor, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In regards to the Bright Line situation, maybe about a year ago, I did go to the DAPAC. I attended the meeting, and I think we had a discussion at our council meeting, perhaps maybe a week prior to me attending the meeting. And I had stated at that meeting, I think it was myself and another commissioner, and I can't recall who was the commissioner, that it wasn't up to us, that this was something that was about money, and it wasn't really up to us, that the decision was almost already made, and this was a political stuff. So everyone had got upset because they felt like either I wasn't in favor of North Miami 125th or whatever the case is. And it was very unfortunate because as someone who grew up in the city who have the best interest of North Miami, I think we all would love to have a station in 125th, and whatever we need to do, we will do. But the reality is, it's money, and you are right, Councilwoman Keys. It may not be fair, but I think myself and the other person who had mentioned what we mentioned at the beginning is because we know we've been around this political thing a little bit too much to know that being a city do not have the financial backing as the county, and knowing how these things work, it's a lot of time we are willing to fight, and we will do whatever that we need to do. But this was not a decision. It was not a political decision. It was basically based on Bright Line. From my understanding of the situation, it was them that was making the situation, and it was us versus FIU and versus Solomia and all these folks, and it was between us and North Miami Beach and all the other cities up north. So when I was told about the situation, that was my understanding of it. I think all of us in the council and when the manager pulled the resolution, all of us have supported, and we'll fight and do what we got to do for 125th, because I think it does make sense. It would be the best for us. However, if we are going to do this and we want to do this, and somebody mentioned about not passing the, whatever that referendum was. If we're serious about doing this, we just have to consider just fighting, because the county and the folks who are behind this, they are being very, very serious. And I think that's just the bottom line. And it's that serious, and they have whatever relationship they do have with Bright Line. And at the end of the day, it's all about the resources and money and influence, which we have as much as influence in terms of community support. But I think at the end of the day, they're looking at it as a business money decision for them, and the powerful lobbyists and all these people that they have behind them. So whatever that we are willing to do, whatever the impression that they have that we're not in support of it, or whoever, that is totally inaccurate. All of us are here for North Miami, and we'll do whatever that we can, but it is a tough fight. And we just want the residents to know it's very, very powerful people who are willing to put out some good money. I have no idea why, and this is the first time a couple of weeks ago I've heard of the issue since it was last brought up. So, it is what it is. But that's basically it. So we're ready to do whatever we need to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vice Mayor Desulme. Councilwoman Estime Irvin. Where's Mary? She's gone. Okay, it looks like she's gone. And now when it comes to what is the recommendation, because we do understand we would like to see it on 123rd or 125th Street, but right now they identified 3 hotspot locations, and one of them is 151. And from what they said from the comments, it's like they were looking for a location to accommodate not only just one city, but accommodate multiple cities. And that's why they chose 151 in order to, instead of having another location in North Miami Beach or Aventura, they were looking at 151. So that 151 can serve not only North Miami, but also can serve North Miami Beach and Aventura Mall area, plus Solemia, FIU, and all those development in the area. I think on top of that, we're going to have that location, and what we can do is fight for another location and to be at 125th Street and do everything it takes in order to get that additional location, because right now they identified 2 spots. That doesn't mean they're not willing to add any other location. That's mean we can fight to get 123rd as another location, and we have to be ready to be on board with the expenses of that additional location. Councilwoman Estime Irvin, are you back? Go ahead.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I had to change device. I was having difficulties. I share the same sentiments like my colleagues. I think we're going to do everything in our power to fight for our residents, to share the views, and we'll be having the conversation. I'll continue to have the conversation with the city manager, and we'll have conversation with the county commissioners that represent us in order and express the sentiments of the people that we represent.
You can start with you can do your report at the same time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I would also like to, let me start with breast cancer awareness. I would like everyone to realize that October is the month that I should say, we make everyone aware of what's happening in breast cancer, how it affects women and women as well. I heard some noise. I just want to make sure. I also want to, I would like to encourage all of us, especially women, to go ahead and do early screening and testing for early detection. Also, I want to bring up the awareness for our very own Chief Larry Juriga, who is participating in the Real Men Wear Pink campaign hosted by the American Cancer Society. So please take out the time to visit in North Miami's Facebook page or North Miami's online page for more information. Also coming up next week, we just passed a resolution to celebrate Government Week. So I want to encourage all residents, business owners, and my colleagues to really take part, and so we can all engage and understand how local government and government in general plays a part in all of our lives. I'd like to continue to encourage everyone to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And I just wanted to highlight, I'm very excited about the name change for West Dixie Highway to Harriet Tubman Highway. So I'm very excited about that. I'd like to go ahead and appoint someone to the Personnel Board. The name is Hegel Laurent. He applied September 3rd. City Clerk's office should have that application. And this is an appointment for Group B of the Personnel Board. Are you speaking, Mr. Mayor? I can't hear you if you are. Right, so I'm making an appointment for the Personnel Board. I wanted to know if we
Do you have an application? I don't have the application.
Right, but it's in the city's clerk's office, sir. And this
The
person.
application was shared. The application was shared. I believe it was September 4th.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Oh, do you have an appointment?
I just mentioned the appointment. Yes, I do. Higel Laurent.
Okay. If Madam Clerk,
I just need a second so I can take the vote.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, I have a motion made by Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin to appoint Hagel Lula to the personnel board, Group B. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. Councilwoman Estime Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Desame, how do you vote? Vice Mayor Desame, how do you vote?
you said yes.
Yes. Okay, yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Bieneme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 5-0 vote.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are you done?
No, I'm not. I have one more item. So on February 11th, we all passed as a council the North Miami Youth Council, which I'm very excited about. And I thank you again publicly for supporting that ordinance. And I just want to encourage you to, we had an application process that was put out, and we had some youth that live in our city that or attend our schools here that are interested in being on the board. So I just want to make sure that you all take the opportunity to appoint a youth. I think this is going to be really good for our city to get our youth really engaged early on during government. And hopefully with your appointment, they can start meeting the third Tuesday of every month as the ordinance suggests, and we'll have that activation next week. So I encourage you, my colleagues, to do that, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on the same topic, I want to appoint Cindy Jean-Paul from North Miami Senior High School on the Youth Council Board. The application is at the city clerk.
Second.
Madam Clerk, Cindy Jean-Paul.
I have a motion made by Mayor Philippe Bieneme to appoint Cindy Jean-Paul to the Youth Council. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. Councilwoman Keys, would you like to make an appointment for the Board of Adjustment?
I'd like to make an appointment to the Board of Adjustment, Michael Eaton, and also to the council, but Michael Eaton, Board of Adjustment.
I'll second for the Board of Adjustment.
Right?
Board of Adjustment.
You have a Madam Clerk.
The application was sent to your staff today. We received the application at 9 o'clock. We were informed that Councilwoman Keys wanted to make the appointment. We forwarded the application shortly thereafter. We sent a reminder. Have you not received it?
No, I have it. I just want to make sure you have an appointment. She have a vacancy.
I do.
Okay.
Second.
All right. I have a motion made by Councilwoman Keys to appoint Michael Eaton to the Board of Adjustment, seconded by Councilman Galvin. Councilwoman Keys, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes. Do we really need to do roll call for this? But yeah.
For some of them, they may be necessary. So in the abundance of caution, since I don't have the ordinance in front of me for these boards where I know that we have stricter rules, I'm going to do a roll call vote.
22 years in, I can let you know you don't need a roll call for a board.
Councilwoman Estime Urban, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Desame, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Philippe Deneme, how do you vote?
Yes.
All right, motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Move to adjourn.
And let's have report. I know Madam Clerk have a lot of things to say about election. Make it short. Your report, Madam Clerk.
Also, we have the youth council vote. We're going to do that all together or individually before we do that?
Individually, I already did one. You have one?
You did one. I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to appoint Justin Sharmat.
What is the
I can
name?
hear you.
Justin Sharmat. His application was sent to me. He's on the list.
Do we have other nomination? Can we do all of them at once?
It doesn't
need to be done.
No? Okay. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Hi, Mayor, for the youth council, you don't need to vote on that one. All that requires is that you send your nomination to the manager. Once you've decided who you want on that board, you just tell the manager that person's appointed. There's no vote required on that one.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Madam Clerk, your report now.
Yes, so on the topic of breast cancer awareness, I do want to acknowledge someone who recently faced that, somebody I've been speaking to on this issue, and I really hope you're listening. There is a quote that I think of when I think of people who face this, and for some of you may know that this is really personal to me. So you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. And this is a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, and I think that it really reminds me of this person who was so courageous, and even in the midst of all that this person was going through, they still continued to serve in a very big way. So I just want to honor you at this moment. October 22nd, we will have Dr. Krill Jackson join us on the North Miami City Clerk Facebook to talk about breast cancer awareness, prevention tips that you should be aware of. On the topic of elections, please remember that early voting starts October 19th and will end on November 1st. 7 to 7, those are the hours, 7 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. As long as you are in line by 7 p.m., you will be able to vote. The North Miami Public Library is one of the about 20 some odd precincts that will be open for early voting. I encourage you all to vote as early as possible. If you have not already submitted your vote by mail ballot, please do so as soon as possible, but ideally just drop it off on October 19th through the 1st at an early voting location. Vote by mail ballots are also accepted at the secure ballot drop boxes that are going to be available at each one of the open early voting sites. On top of that, voters can also drop off their mail-in ballots at the following locations on Monday, November 2nd, and November 3rd. But remember, if you don't drop it by November 1st, you can't drop it at any one of the locations. You have to follow their rules, which is to drop it off at these specific locations. That is the Elections Department, main office in Doral, North Dade Regional Library, Stephen P. Clark Center, or South Dade Regional Library. On top of that, I want to remind everyone to be mindful if you submitted your ballot, if you mailed it in, and there is an issue with it, you will be provided an opportunity to actually cure the ballot. And that deadline is 5 p.m. on the first Thursday following the election. And so that would be Thursday, November 5th. Please make sure to be mindful to watch your mailbox and make sure that you have not received the cure affidavit, and make sure that you submit it back. Remember to have a valid photo ID with you. It will not be required at the drop box, but do keep in mind that, when you're going to vote at a precinct, they will ask for it. In addition to that, I just want to remind everyone, if you have not already done so, although we are high, please do continue to complete your census. We do want a complete count. 99.9% is never going to be enough. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. City Manager's report,
No report, thank you.
City Attorney's report.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank
I have a
you.
motion made by Councilman Galvin to adjourn. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Estimate Urban. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4 p.m. Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. 4 p.m. We are adjourned.
Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.